Hanging out underwater has always been one of my favorite things to do, but maybe it's time for me to take on a bit of a challenge. I have been in and around the water since I was a kid here in South Florida. Everything from being at the beach to boats, eventually snorkeling, and getting certified to scuba dive around the year 2000. I've actually logged over 110 dives over the years, and I love it. But there's always something new to learn, and the ocean is a great place to expand your skills. And one of the things that I've started to notice is there's a difference between doing photo and video work with scuba compared to snorkeling. And there's also a big difference between just snorkeling and freediving. And so I decided to take up a challenge and take a freediving course. Getting out on the ocean never gets old, and this was a spectacular day that I had really waited a while for. I took my course through Florida Freedivers, and that started with a pool session in the beginning of February. However, the ocean was not cooperative for quite a long time, and it took until the beginning of May before we got a good day that aligned with my schedule to get out on the water, and this was a great day. We took a boat out about 5 miles into about 600 feet of water. No, I had no plans on going that deep, but this essentially is a great training ground for freediving because there's not a lot of critters around, including not a lot of sharks, and we can concentrate on just skills. Spending all those years dragging a dive flag around, this was a little different. My instructor, Virgil, set up the platforms essentially, which are 2 floats with a bar in between and a drop line where we will be practicing. The first thing we did was just get out to the floats, hang on, and take about 5 minutes just to breathe and relax and get acclimated. Then it was time for my first dive. Now my form here is not perfect, but remember, I'm used to snorkeling, not so much going straight down. But entering this blue world and just being surrounded by it was something very special. After having so much experience in the water, it was really interesting because I've had to really retrain myself of all the things that I normally do and change that pattern. And the whole breathe up process and the little things you do as you dive and throughout the dive and coming back up. But there's a whole tranquility to this, a very peacefulness to this, which is really amazing. Now, I've always had a problem equalizing. The deeper you dive, the more pressure you're under, and you have to equalize the air spaces in your ear. I've even had problems with it scuba diving, but upside down, it's a little bit of a challenge. Virgil, my instructor here, is making it look easy as he's going well below me, well under 100 feet. While I'm waiting for him to come back up, I look at all these little specks in the water, and that is all phytoplankton. Phytoplankton, of course, is really the basis of the food chain in the ocean, and we're in the pelagic zone, the open ocean. And these little specks are producing, just like plants do on land, to fuel the ecosystem. Now you'll notice another freediver is actually going down to meet Virgil on his way back up. This is part of safety, which is incredibly important in freediving. People generally black out in the top 30 feet as they're approaching the surface. So you want to make sure you have people around you that have been trained in rescue techniques and know what to do in these situations. So I'm generally used to being the one that can dive the deepest and hold my breath the longest, but this is really putting me in my place. My instructors and the other freedivers with us really knew what they were doing, and it was really neat to see that. All good things come to an end. It was time to unhook all the gear and bring everything back on board. It was such a beautiful day, I kind of hung out in the water as long as I could, but it was time to return to land. It's always important to remember that the ocean is not a forgiving place. It's really important to get properly trained for freediving and for scuba diving, just so that you stay safe. But at the end of the day, it's really nice to just be able to swim calmly underwater and just take in your surroundings. So until next time, keep exploring.